wiring taillights up on this truck. Forgot to weld the rod nuts in this thing. And get the welder back out again. But okay, we're good to go now. This piece of 4-inch square tubing cut off 3 inches long. It's 3 inches long, 4-inch square tubing. You weld that to the back of the truck like this, and you get yourself 2 small rod nuts, and you weld them in the corners. This corner and this corner right here. Oops, turn the welder on. I'll show you why in just a second. Let me get this welded in here. It's got to be intact. Okay, get the top side. Good. Okay, get the other rod nut. Put it in this other corner right here. I used to work for an REA co-op, rural electric co-op, and fixing this stuff up for these linemen. You had to figure out some way to make this stuff lineman proof, because they could tear up frickin' anything. So this is what I come up with. And what you do, okay, you weld your 3-inch long, 4-inch square box. You weld it to the back of the truck. And you got a hole drilled in right here. My wire's going to come through this hole right in the middle right here. Let me get the camera over in a minute. I'll show you. But there's a 1/4-inch stainless steel bolt right here. I drilled a hole and put it in here. The stainless steel nut on here, this bolt right here, is going to be my ground. The bolt's welded to the steel. The stainless steel will never lose the ground. That's 99% of your problems right there. But these 2 little rod nuts right here welded in are nuts from my trailer connector. It goes on here. And you just put this trailer connector right in that. A 4-inch, 1/4-inch piece of steel, 4 inches 4x4, and you drill a hole in it, put your trailer connector in there, and this goes back in the box. And you bolt it on the truck like that, and you got one solid trailer connector. Ain't nobody ever going to tear it off there. They might just smash it up a little bit, but they ain't going to hurt that box too much. But it makes a damn nice way to put a wiring for a trailer connector on here. Plus, it gives you a junction box to hook all your wires up in. I just use wire nuts when I hook the wires up in there, but I make sure the wire nuts are pointing uphill so that the water won't collect in them. I spray them with some battery corrosion sprays too. After I get them tightened on there, then I point them uphill, and there's a little groove right here I notched out right here, so if any water would get in the box, it's just going to run out this little groove right here, so it won't even build up in there nothing. But it makes a doggone nice sturdy box to mount your trailer connector. It makes it very convenient to work on the wiring. You take out 2 little bolts and all your wires are right there. Your ground's right there. Like I said, you'll never lose the ground. I'm getting ready to paint this thing now. Let's see here. Trying to wrap my welder cord up. Okay. Where are we at here? Let me widen this back up a little bit. In my trailer, this is a dump truck I'm working on. My trailer lights, I took a piece of about 1/8 inch out aluminum, 6 inches long, 6 inches wide, and bent it at 90 degrees right here. And so I can wire all my lights up out here, and I can drop it in here. I screw 4 bolts on right there, and my lights are all installed. Run my wires down through here and hook my lights up. Bingo, we're all ready to go. But these are all LED lights. They should never go bad again. I got to make the good connections that they won't never go bad up here, and then run the wires back down through here. But I got to paint this box first. But the big thing is, this box is it gives you a nice place to, terminate your wires, all that. And instead of just hanging all over the back of the truck, you can sit on your ass on a chair, work on your wiring right here. If you got a problem with the trailer connector, it makes it so simple to work on this stuff. Sure, it takes a little time to set it up this way, but once you got it set up, your days of playing around with wiring is pretty much over with. It makes it pretty hard for them to tear it up. But anyway, I just thought I'd make a little video to show you guys how I fix these things up so that it makes it so much easier to work on. Maybe someone else can use that idea. Okay, I'm getting ready. I got this thing all wired up. I got all the wires soldered and all these lights right here. And the problem when you do wiring on a vehicle, okay, you got to hook 3 wires together. You can't use heat shrink tubing. Stuff's gonna get in there. You can squirt some silicone in there, whatever that, dielectric stuff, but it still ain't really great. And I found this stuff, Scotch 210 vinyl mastic roll. And you get a big roll of this stuff. You gotta lay it down on a piece of wood to cut it. I cut it with a razor knife. Okay, and I cut little squares of it. And what you do, you peel the back of it off. I hate to waste this, but it's, this stuff is, it's like freaking unreal stuff, man. You stick this stuff together. You stick it together, it doesn't pull apart. It's like permanent. It stretches. It's real soft, and look at that stuff. Ugh. Ugh. But you can take this stuff and you cut a little patch, stick your wire connection in the middle, fold it over. Now I use my thumbnails and I smush it between the 2 wires right there. And it's still sticky right here. It really sticks to itself. That's what it's made to do. And it sticks to wires good and all that kind of stuff like that. But you make your connection up and you put this stuff on there. What I did to all these lights back here, I just did it all on the workbench. Brought the thing over here. I got 2 little bolts right here. I screwed in the top. That's holding this whole thing on right here. Now, the whole taillights are all 2 bolts. I can take these 2 bolts out right here, pull the whole taillights, all these out, work on them on a bench. There's a lot easier working on a bench. And then I took the wires, run through a little grommet thing right here, and all the wires come out of here, go right into my box. And the last thing I'm going to do before I close this thing up, is this stuff right here. You can buy this at Amazon, I believe. It's NOCO 2. You spray this on a battery terminal, and they tell you don't put it on there first, but I do it all the time. Works great. Spray this on your battery, put your battery post on there, and forget about it until the battery's done. You're done with it. This stuff works that good. It's kind of like a red gooey stuff, It comes out of the can right here. But I make my connections up. I use wire nuts on here, and I point the wire nuts so they're always pointing uphill so they can't hold water. But before I close the thing up, I'll spray these connections right here with this stuff right here. So it runs down inside them things. So they're going to be protected if any water would get in there. Okay, they're going to be protected real good. And I spray my ground wire right there too. I get this stuff, this looks like blood. It's a mess. Then I spray my ground wires. On top of it being hooked to a stainless steel bolt. And then right here I'm going to use a little bit right there for those bolts for the stuff's kind of like a grease too. So we're done now. All I do is close this thing up. And I get the rag, wipe my hand off. Comes off pretty good. That is the best stuff for sealing electrical stuff I've ever seen in my life. Okay, the 2 little bolts are right up there. There's another ratchet. Let's bend these last wooden wires. Like I said, keep those wire nuts pointing uphill. Point them right there in the top corner right there. Like that. Okay, so no water will ever build up in them things. Then you got your trailer connector. It's going to go right on here. And voila. in there. There it is. Got it. Okay, one more. Let's run this side down a little bit. Okay. One more on this side over here now. There you go. Rock solid. I mean, you know, you don't get any better than that. I'm sitting right here on my stool, take the cover off. I got to work on a wire somewhere. I don't know why I would ever have to work on it. It's all soldered. It's all stainless steel bolt to the ground. All the wires were all soldered on all the grounds. One ground wire was run down, hooks a stainless steel bolt. So that unless the frame of the truck loses the ground, it's never going to lose the ground. The lights up there, they come down here, and they go to the stainless steel ground down here too. So that's all of it's that way. But anyway, that's my wiring drive on a truck. I like to do it once and be done with it. The only thing I got to do now is test these backup lights, see if they're going to work. But everything else is working fantastic. They should stay working for, you know, unless somebody smashes a light. But with these lights tucked up in here like they are, I don't know how anybody possibly could. The trailer connectors on there nice and solid. There's a 100 ton or whatever it is hitch on here. Bolted that baby on there. L9 bolts, which is way better than grade 8. This thing's set up to tow something now. And the lights won't go bad. They're on there nice and solid. Bought them all on eBay. Got a good deal on these things. They're like 28 bucks a pair of these lights, LED lights. And you got to buy the kind. Some of these you get, they got plug-ins on the back of them. You don't want that. You want the ones with the wires coming out of the back of the lights. That way, when you make your solder connection on the wires, you're forever done. There's nothing. There's no plug-ins. No nothing to corrode out. You know, the wire that I soldered on the back of these to all these all hooked together and all soldered this and brought down here and made a connection in here. It's pointing uphill with this goo on there. There's nothing to go bad. But don't buy the lights. Don't buy them lights with the plug-ins on them. You don't want that. You want the hard wired ones with the wires coming on. These lights are the same way. They got wires coming on the back of them. That way you can solder the connection. They're all potted inside the light. There's nothing to corrode ever. Drive this thing underwater. It won't make any difference. It's still going to work. Anyway, that's it for this video.